It's 1 minute till 9 o'clock. My name is Seth, and these are my 8 cents. So, throughout the history of wrestling, or since I've been watching, one of the main constants is talent can go from one place to the other place and back again. A prime example recently is Cody Rhodes being away from WWE for a while, having a hand in starting All Elite Wrestling, just to come back. There have been some rumblings about possibly Jon Moxley returning or whether or not he should return. But today I read that Dax Harwood of FTR fame, known as The Revival in WWE, said in a tweet that if money and circumstances were to his liking, he would return to WWE. Now, we all know that WWE, to a lot of people, is the only game in town. When you think of wrestling, for those who are non-wrestling fans or people who are not really casual watchers, you don't think of Impact Wrestling or AEW or even New Japan because you don't know about those companies. But you do know about WWE. Whether you say I watch it sometimes or whether you make a joke about it, if something that you see reminds you of it, you automatically say WWE. You know who John Cena is. You know who Austin is. You know who The Rock is. You even know who Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man are. I digress. I like FTR. Their homage to the Midnight Express and other tag teams of our yesteryear, splendid. I enjoy it. They got a good thing going on there at AEW. They're the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions as well as the AAA Tag Team Champions. My question is this. Will they have the same success at WWE? I don't think so. I'm not trying to be a cynic. I'm not trying to be pessimistic or any of those things. But you have to take into account the track record that WWE has with particular stars. If you're not seen as the main guy or the upper mid-card guy, there's a few doors that have your name on it. Lower mid-card, where you lose more than you win. Enhancement talent, when you don't win at all. Or you'll have a spot in the 24/7 title chase. The comedy zone. Do you really want that? Imagine, all you ever wanted to be was a wrestler. You dream of becoming the main guy and becoming world champion, right? And you get signed to WWE. They change your name. You start off in NXT. You might have a decent run then, but then you get to the big show, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, and all of a sudden, you're treated as a complete joke. How many times have we seen that? And after you're being treated like a complete joke, you get released. Is that fair? No, because all you wanted to do was wrestle. All you wanted to do was make it. Was to show that you could be an asset to that company. You're out of work from competition for, we'll say 90 days, unless WWE slips up on the 90-day non-compete clause. And then you go to AEW. And you get treated like gold there. And you notice the differences between those two companies. And you realize that you're getting more there than you ever did with Vince. Why would you go back? To me, this seems like a case of being in a relationship and the person dumps you because they don't see your value, nor do they appreciate you. And then you go elsewhere and you make it, and now they're having second thoughts and they want you back all of a sudden. We've all been there. I know I have. I was in that situation almost 2 years ago. But I digress. FTR, Dax and Cash, this is my word to you. Stay your ass in AEW. Stay there. You have 2 sets between the two of you. 2 sets of championships. You didn't, yeah, in WWE, you won the NXT, the SmackDown, and the Raw Tag Team Champions, but you didn't hold on to it for very long. You two weren't your typical tag team. Y'all didn't do the flip-flop stuff. Y'all were a throwback to the days of the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express, just to name a few. And Tony Khan sees that. You got to work with Tully Blanchard. Why would you go back? You've seen how they've treated your fellow wrestlers. Burying them, firing them. Wasn't it you or Cash that said, I wish WCW won the war? Remember that? You think Vince doesn't read that shit? He does. All right. And y'all want to go back. What's to go back for? Do you think that Vince would ever make y'all double tag team champions? No. Let's say you win a tag team championship, you're probably going to be fed to RK Bro or even the Usos. Because bet your ass, y'all ain't beating the Usos. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. It ain't happening. All right? So you can forget that real quick. Okay? All right. I like what you do. Your match with the Briscoes, splendid. Y'all are, to say that y'all know how to work is an understatement. Y'all are students of the game. I love you guys. So I'm coming to you as a fan. I want to see you guys someday be in the Tag Team Hall of Fame because you fucking deserve it. But what I don't want to see is you go back up north to Connecticut and have your legacy pissed on. I don't want to see that. Y'all got families. Do you think your families want to see you with your back on the mat, being pinned every single night, being embarrassed? No. If I were a wrestler and my wife and my daughter saw me having that treatment done, they wouldn't want to watch me anymore. Because when you lose a lot, yes, they say wins and losses don't matter, but they really do. They really do, though. If you're losing all the time, your stock goes down. If you have a healthy win-loss ratio, they can work with that. Because if you were a jobber in WWE, are you really going to win the big one elsewhere? Are the fans going to take you seriously? No. You've seen how they treated the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express. They gave Bob Holly and Bart Gunn the name, the new Midnight Express. Let that sink in for a moment. They made the Rock and Roll Express heels. When in history have you ever seen the Rock and Roll Express be heels? Together. I haven't. Although when the York Corporation was running in WCW, Ricky Morton was a heel by himself under the name Richard Morton. But that's different. That's different. FTR. It's best if you resign with Tony. Like I said in the past video, my wife's not really a fan of Tony Khan. But if Tony is doing his diligence to keep you, you should work with that. Imagine this. If you stay, you could get back the AEW Tag Team Champions and make history. Y'all would be the most decorated tag team champions in that company. Y'all could have your own champ challenge. Y'all could have tag teams from Impact, New Japan, AAA, and wherever else come to AEW just to challenge you. Even past tag teams from Ring of Honor. The possibilities are endless. It's money. The stories print themselves. Hey, you have something of ours and we want it back. There's your story right there. And y'all are like, well, hey, come and get it. But Vince is going to give you that ball. Y'all won't be the number one tag team in WWE. I can promise you that. Because Vince doesn't see any value in y'all. Y'all aren't the Usos. You're not RK Bro. You're not even Alpha Academy. So where do you think you're going to fall in that mix? You're not even Imperium. The guy, a few videos ago, I talked about why it's not a good idea to be released or leave, go elsewhere and come back. John Morrison. After John Morrison left, he was at Lucha Underground. He was at Impact Wrestling. And Vince was like, well, I'm interested in John Morrison again. Was that run of any importance aside from him re-teaming with The Miz? No. They fired him first. Then they fired his wife afterwards. Think about that. WWE ain't the same anymore. It's not like it was in the Attitude Era, where every star was valuable and there was something for everyone. Why was that the case back then? Because Russo was there. And yes, Vince Russo gets a lot of flack for a lot of shit. The Owen Hart situation. The Brawl for All. His tenure in WCW. The list goes on and on and on. But you cannot deny that that man helped turn the WWF at the time around. You can't deny that. But those days are long and gone. It'll never be that way. Because like I said before, there's wrestling producers there. But who's really on the writing team who can turn that ship around? Raw is a shit show. Raw reminds me of 2000 Nitro. All right. 2000 Nitro. Constant heel and face turns. Breakups. Stop and start pushes. WWE is trash right now. Trash. FTR. You guys are great. You guys are exceptional. There's no team out there like you today. I would throw all of my money on the fucking ground to see you wrestle the likes of Harlem Heat, the Steiner Brothers, the Dudley Boys, God rest their souls, the Road Warriors, Doom, the Freebirds, and so on. And you guys would tear the fucking house down. Pardon me. Y'all would tear the fucking house down. So if you care about your legacy and you have a clear-cut vision of the path you want to take and the road you want to go down and the place you want to be, don't pay any never mind to the WWE. All money ain't good money. Ask Mike Bennett about that. Everyone wants to go to WWE. Why? Why do you want to go there so goddamn badly? You really think that you're going to take over Roman Reigns' spot or be the next Brock Lesnar? Honestly, what do you think is going to happen to you? You better stay your ass at Impact Wrestling. You better stay your ass at All Elite Wrestling. You better stay your ass in New Japan or AAA or Ring of Honor. You better stay your ass those places. Because, look, the WWE is not the end-all, be-all. You don't need them to be good. That's why I am scared when King Mike says that AEW is going to be canceled, because that means that if AEW is canceled, where will they go? Especially the stars who talked a lot of shit about Vince. FTR, you're one of those people. Rusev, now known as Miro. If AEW closes doors tomorrow, and Vince said, yeah, come on, You think Miro's going to get a healthy main event push? No. He'll probably win a few matches for maybe a few weeks or even a month if he's lucky. And then he'll start losing again. Speaking of Mike Bennett, what do you think they did to Mike Bennett? They made him a cuck. Is what they did. Maria kept chopping his balls off fiercely every chance she got. I wish Becky Lynch impregnated me. You're not a real man. You're not the father. And so on. But they threw money at them. But you're making me out to be a punk, WWE. Here's some more money. Okay, fine. I'll do this. And I am one of Mike Bennett's and Maria Kanellis Bennett's biggest fans. I love what they do. I love their characters. I love Honor No More. Look at all the people who got fired in recent memory from WWE. Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, John Morrison, Jeff Hardy. The list goes on and on and on. Don't y'all remember how it went there? When you signed to them, they own you. You belong to them. You're their bitch. They pimp you guys out. If they want you to come out there in a fucking dress and shake your ass for the crowd to laugh at, you do that. If they say, hey, we want you to take off that mask, we want to change your name, guess what? You're doing it. Or you're going to get fired. You really want to work there? Do you really want to work there? I wouldn't. Quality over quantity. They even fired Bray Wyatt, The Fiend. One of my favorite characters. They fucked up Bray Wyatt the first go around. And then they resurrected him as The Fiend. And then they fucked that up too. FTR greater than Revival. Reviving what? The only thing that's going to be revived is your loss record. Do you care about your legacy? Do you want to be jokes? Or do you want to be a tag team that people years from now say, hey, I remember watching them and they were the best goddamn tag team I've ever seen? I would rather that. Don't say no. Don't say yes to Vince. Don't. Y'all are too good for Vince McMahon. Y'all are too good for the machine, for WWE. Y'all are too goddamn good. Y'all deserve better. So stay at All Elite Wrestling. Get those AEW tag team titles back. So you can be the champs times 3. That is where the money is. Think about it, FTR. Think about it. Till next time.